Now, this issue came into sharp focus recently during the unveiling of a major new initiative aimed at managing this waste more sustainably, cutting dangerous methane emission, and helping Lagos meet its climate goal. The initiative, launched in partnership with Proganics Limited, is centered around a new 200-ton-a-day facility that uses something unexpected, the black soldier fly technology, to transform food waste into valuable products like animal feed, and bio fertilizers. So according to him, the key to success lies in sorting waste right at the source. That's because when food waste ends up in landfills, it releases methane, a greenhouse gas far more harmful than carbon dioxide. To support this process, the states will be rolling out some smart green bins equipped with RFID tags and lot sensors, especially in high waste areas like restaurants and event centers, to improve waste tracking, reduce odor and pests, and streamline collection. So what does this all mean for you, for your neighborhood, and for the future of Lagos? That's exactly what we are exploring on these discussion segments today. This is a very good innovation where we have the black soldier flies to really curb waste. We know Lagos is an amazing city in Nigeria. And then we don't want to have a debate about people staying in Lagos and Abuja, but then we know that Lagos is an amazing city in Nigeria. And we know that Lagos can be very, very roused. Lagos can be very overcrowded. And some parts of Lagos can be really, really dirty. And we know that waste is something that has always been an issue, not just in Lagos, not just in Nigeria, but Africa as a whole. And this initiative is something that we should, not just Lagos alone, it's something that every other state and every other region should also adapt, the black soldier fly technology. Now, the black soldier fly technology uses the larva of black soldier fly to break down food waste in an efficient, natural, and environmental friendly way. Now, the BSF larvae are fed organic waste. That's the waste you get from the waste bin, trash, and all of that. They're fed organic waste, which they consume rapidly, like very fast. They have consumed it. In the process, they reduce the waste volume up to 70%. The larvae are harvested and processed into animal feed. That's for poultry, pigs, fish, and the rest. And the waste reduced are always known as frass. It's converted into biofertilizer for agricultural usage. This is really innovative. Like you're not just recycling at this point. You're gathering the waste. You have a technology where these black flies will feed on the organic waste and be used. So it's like a two-way thing. You have the technology that is consuming this waste, that is causing serious pollution, air pollution, land pollution, or whatever kind of pollution out there in Lagos. Now you're curbing the waste and also creating more fertilizers for, poultry's farm, and all of that is really, really innovative.
I totally agree with you, and this is laudable coming from Lagos. I see that the governor of Lagos, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has been doing all he can to bring that greenery into Lagos, and it's laudable. We've seen several environmental actions and policies emanating from Lagos State, and I think it's something we must emulate, especially because some people believe that, there are many parts of Lagos that either smells or you have dirt all over. But seeing innovations like this is what we are proud of. When you think of, first of all, when I saw that we're using the black soldier fly to curb waste in the environment, I said, okay, it's like nature for nature. Because these are all natural things that we have. When you buy your fruit, when you buy your food, and then they get bad, you just trash them anyhow. Do you ever pause to think what happens to them? How do they come back to the environment? You can try something in your house. If you leave your soup to get bad, after maybe 3 days you didn't warm it or you didn't refrigerate it, you leave it to go bad, you will not stand the stench that comes out of that kitchen. Now, that stench is very unhealthy for yourself. Very. I mean, it's worse than carbon dioxide. So imagine having a lot of this in the atmosphere, polluting it. People from this side are doing theirs, the other people. If you go around places where they sell fruits around the streets and you see where those women dump those things, either the peels of those fruits, you can't stay there. It's very unhealthy. Those stench pollutes the air that we breathe. And because the air is not pure, what happens? It comes back to harm our health in future. Of sometimes the effects may not be seen immediately, but as we go on, there is a problem. So what this innovation is doing is going to give us clean air, clean energy. It's going to give us, a very good atmosphere. We want cleaner communities, no matter how you look at it. And when we talk about the climate action, we are talking COP29, we're talking COP30. It is discussions like this that take place in those rooms. But I think the biggest climate action is implementing these things. And so it's a very laudable one that we see Lagos being at the helm of affairs in ensuring that we have cleaner communities, cleaner air. And the way it is happening, you're using black soldier fly. I think that's what's fascinating me more. So you're using nature to fix a problem. And you're not just fixing it. It becomes manure for even plants. So it's a whole recycling process. Nothing is lost, nothing is broken. It's a whole chain of recycling. And it's very innovative, I must say. And we are hoping that this doesn't stop in Lagos. I'm sure that other states can see this as a framework to work with. There is no state in Nigeria that doesn't have plastics, dirt, littered indiscriminately. Of course, maybe in the urban cities, there are controls. They have people who do the cleanup. But we still have people. Even today on my way to the office, I saw somebody trash a bottle of water. We see people eat and then they trash anyhow. They don't ever think, oh, what happens to this dirt? They don't bother. So when we see inventions like this, it's something we want to replicate in other cities. I want Nigeria to get to that point where Rwanda is in terms of clean energy, in terms of environmental, health. And I'm sure we can achieve it. Lagos is showing us the way. Other states can.
Well, looking at this, I was thinking, putting myself as a layman, how do I understand this and are there challenges to this innovation? Because is it that you would have the trash all put together and then just like it's displayed on the screen and then you just let the flies do their stuff and the technology would get the fertilizer afterwards? So I'm just thinking as a layman right now, so how would these really work? And then also we know that there are times, we know that there are times where we just trash dirt and the rest wrongly. So how do we let people really know that, okay, this is how to trash things like this is how to recycle things like this for the benefit of the country and for your health purpose too? Of course, there are no perfect plans, and we'll look at some of the challenges I feel are challenges because we're talking about public participation. Now, the system depends on people sorting their waste correctly. Without awareness and cooperation, I think this whole model is likely to really break down, because if people really do not participate and there are no proper awareness to how things should be trashed, this would likely become maybe a challenge. Then also, I'm also looking at the infrastructure gap, where not all areas of the road have access to logistic capacity for efficiency and smart bin collection. We've seen the smart bin collection. We don't know how this would be, it's one to have the smart bin collection here, but then how accessible are these smart bin collections? You have it in, let's say, I really don't know places, Agege. You have it somewhere there. So how do they distribute it to ensure that, okay, the smart bin collection is actually doing its work, and then this trash are being carried out the right way? So that's just something that is popping up in my head, probably also in your mind. So how do they really want this to roll? How do they really want this to be really successful?
Miracle is asking this question like I am Muyiwa Gbadegesin. Well, I'm not him, but I can.
Yeah, the cost of
do my-
scaling, like how do you produce the smart bin? Lagos is very big. Lagos is very wide. And you cannot just have the smart bin in particular places. Example, Lekki. I'm sure that's where we'll find some of the smart bins. But then it can't just be in Lekki. We have other places in Lagos. So looking at, the cost of scaling is something that I feel the government should really look into.
Yeah, I guess that's why it's first a partnership and it's open to other investors to come in. It looks like a flagship project of this kind. And
Yeah.
when flagships happen like this, when there's success recorded, you can now have more people join in. So I think Lagos is already on the right track by starting out this project first. And I'm sure from what we can see, the way we usually just dispose our trash is that they have trucks who come pick up at certain times. And that's the method they are likely going to use. They should actually even push further is the cooperation of people.
Yeah.
People should pay fine for not trashing properly. People should pay fine for indiscriminate dumping of refuse. So I already know that Lagos has, to a large extent, a good mechanism put in place to transport their trash. They have those trucks, they have those bins by the wayside, but then we still have people who have coconut head. They do not use those trash. You literally see somebody trash something and then
Just by the side of, there are times when I see it, I just wonder like, hey, mister, just open the can and trash properly. But aside this, I feel, looking at Abuja, for example, because I'm here in Abuja and it's very easy to relate here than to Lagos. We just like what is being displayed on the screen, where you just have people trash things by the roadside. So how do they really curb something like that? You just have
provide more bins to people and ensure that the people who pick up the waste are very efficient.
We're talking about people who pick up the waste right now, because like from my side, you just have one small boy that would carry his truck and pack the waste. You don't know. I will not ask him, where are you going to dispose or trash this? They just pack it by the roadside, and before you know it, the roadside is already heaped with trash. So how would they really curb this? That's just what is rolling down my head. How would they really curb this? Because trashing of waste has been a problem. It has been a challenge, especially in Africa, especially in Nigeria. It has really been a big challenge. Not just Lagos. Look at other states where on a major road, major express, you would see heap of waste. So how do they want to really curb this? Ringing out in my head, and probably would have some answers from you listening and watching us right now.
I also think sensitization plays a key role here. I always would support sensitization. If people know, for instance, there's a whole awareness now around collecting plastics.
Yeah.
And people know that, okay, for every plastic I'm able to keep, I can get a 10 naira, 20 naira, and this is supposed to be trash. What are those plastics used for? Just recently, a friend showed me a building that they launched. It was made of plastic, a public toilet here in Lugbe. It was made of plastic. So if people know, and how were they able to get it? They had community people source for them, because they were going to give them how much? 5,000, 3,000. People were able. These are things that they trash, so they don't really need them. So there's a place for sensitization. And now, those community people have seen what plastic could do. Trust me. She was telling me that as an outfit from that project, they've not seen. You're now literally looking for trash around there.
Plastics.
You're not seeing plastics anymore. So if people understand recycling, if they know that, oh, that's water can you have, can be turned into a chair or a table. You can sell it off and make money. Trust me, Nigerians are very industrious people. They want to make money from every means.
Yeah.
They would jump on that trend and do right by it. So there's place for sensitization. Of course, there's place for infrastructure. Infrastructure here are how many trucks do we have able to transport these things? Because it's one thing to say there is a place where we can trash. It's another thing to have the truck move those things from. We won't leave our things in the bin for ages now. We want them transported to a place where they can be recycled. So we need that network, we need that infrastructure, and we need that sensitization. I think with all of that, it can do a whole good.
Yeah, exactly. With all of that, well, the system are being put in place. Technology is here, and the government is taking actions. But then, what's left for you and myself and all of us? What's left for us to do is to do our part. Sort your waste. Use green bins when you see them. Please, when you see green bins, use them. Use them well. Don't dump by the side. And there are times I always imagine this. Imagine I am the one, or there are times I just put myself in the shoes of those trashing it, those taking, clearing this waste. And I'm like, okay, why didn't you just put this so that I would just take the bin, lift the green bin, and then dispose properly? But now I have to start clearing and packing. So if we're able to put ourselves in the shoes of these people who are clearing this, I think it will make us reason better. Because you wouldn't want to litter, just imagine it's been your house, you wouldn't want to litter banana peels or whatever kind of peels and all of those trash everywhere on the floor, knowing that you are the one who would in return come back to clean up. And you know how messy it can be, especially when you've left it for a very long time, the stench and all of that. So put yourself in that shoe. Imagine the road or wherever you find yourself being your house, and you are responsible for cleaning that place. If we have such mentality, I believe that we'll be careful with the way we trash things. You won't just wind down your car and throw things anyhow. You won't just walk by the roadside and then dispose things anyhow. You would be more careful. We all will be more careful if we have this mentality that the people who are clearing this are also humans. Because you just, something very, I don't even know how to explain it. Something that is really smelling, something that is really bad. You just, have you seen parents or people in vehicles where maybe they'll just carry a child's diaper that's been sore, just do it like this, and fling through the window, and it just lands on the floor. So imagine you're the one going to clean up that mess. Like, it's really an eyesore. So we believe that if everyone has this mentality of, I am putting myself in the shoes of those cleaning up, would want to trash things the right way, better for Nigeria.
I
for
totally
Africa.
felt what Miracle is saying. You know, when she spoke about that, I just remember that I've passed through a market once and I had to literally hold my breath till I passed that place. And you know what that does? When you hear global warming, when we hear all this big English, you have no idea that it's the little actions that contribute to it. So I'm hoping that we move on from here, not trashing anyhow, spreading the word about clean and safe environment. I guess that's as much we can do today.
Exactly.
Also good to have you. And we want you to contribute to the conversation. Keep it going. Reach out to us across a different social media platform. What's your thought? What's your comment? What opinion do you have about this all-important discussion? We'd like to read from you. We'd like to hear from you. But until we come your way next time, stay safe and stay clean and stay green. My name is Chinatu and I've been with
Miracle Ubi. Be
Bye for
good.
now.
Bye for now.